Hello, everybody. I'm trying to pump this energy up because I am excited. I'm having a great day. So, um, if you are new here watching, and I'll try to repeat it, but if you're new here, please allow StreamYard to access your name so I can see who you are, so that I can say hello, so we can connect. And if you are not watching live, welcome to you too. Welcome if it's 5 minutes from now, 5 hours from now, 5 years from now, whenever it is. Welcome to the Lit Podcast Live Tuesday Night Tea. I am your host, Juana. And y'all, we have been on this kick for Be Risky about self care, and we've been going pretty strong. We're all the way up to the I. So we only have a few more episodes about this, and then I think we might end up having some special guests come back. But I just wanted to get this Be Risky out because it's still the beginning of the year. I know it's rolling through pretty fast because we're already in the middle of March. I'm on this time change, like everything is kind of messed up for me right now. Like, I don't know. I was like, why am I so sleepy? But Michelle is first. What it is, yo? What's up? Hey, Shelly Shell from Shelly Sweet Sensations, my bestie. How are you doing? Yes, you are first. Um, but yeah, this time change has got me kind of messed up. I don't know what, like normally I'm okay. But my dogs are they're like, it was 4:30. They're like, lady, why you ain't feed me yet? And I'm like, cause it's only 4:30. But they eat at 5:30. So they're just like, it's crazy. Like, I don't know, it's so crazy right now. Hey mama, Michelle beat you. She beat you, girl. She beat you. Um, I'll just call it for technical difficulties. I know, mama. But you always first, mama. But yeah, this time thing got me kind of screwed up a little bit. But um I'm still thankful, I'm still thankful. I will find something to be thankful about this time. I don't know what it is yet. Excuse me. But I'm gonna find something to be thankful about it. But we are into the I, and I'm trying to wait a few more minutes to see if anybody else wants to come on. But y'all, excuse me. I don't know. Something in my throat. Excuse me. But yeah, we just been trying to adjust to this time, and we're gonna be talking about intentions tonight and how you can apply them to self-care, because I remember at the beginning of the year for New Year, um, we talked about setting intentions, not necessarily resolutions. And, so we talked about words, intentions, and goals. So this is part of my thing. Y'all know my favorite word is intentional. So yeah. Hello, the good coach, Dr. Minister Fitzpatrick. What's up? And oh, Michelle, mama says she at the store. That's why um she not at home. So that's why you beat her. So, but um, yeah, so we got one more minute, y'all. One more minute, and we're gonna jump right into this thing. We ain't gonna be here all night because y'all, I have such good neighbors. I love my neighbors. So my neighbors, shout out to Debbie. She made some Tuscan soup that is keto friendly. Um, yeah. So I'm gonna try that. And it's really cold, so it should warm me up. So I got that. Oh no, my baby. Hello, Anthony. My darling son is on, y'all. He's been a stranger to the show, but he's on. No shade, son. No shade. Um Mama Michelle, because I'm saying this because y'all can't see each other because she's on YouTube and Michelle, you're on Facebook. So Mama Michelle said, yeah, right. Excuses, excuses. I love it. I love you guys. And I thank you all so much for supporting me always. Whenever it is, it doesn't matter for whatever it is either, if it's on here on the show or just in general. Michelle says, why mama on YouTube? Because she don't have Facebook. Her don't do Facebook. Her don't do Instagrams. Her don't do that. She don't do social medias. So she gets to do YouTube on her own. She supports Anthony's YouTube page, my YouTube page. So that's what she does. And just a shout out for my baby, A.O. Basson. Go check him out on YouTube. He always talks about fishing stuff though. And sometimes he has his wife on there and they go fishing, and sometimes they just do some other stuff. And I think it's A.O. Basson on TikTok too. So they have some funny stuff. Michelle says, Mama. Oh, Mama said, whatever, Michelle. When she said she's clever. I'm glad y'all have met each other. But anyway, y'all, let's go on and jump right into this intentional stuff so that we can talk about self-care and setting intentions with self-care. And like I said, we will not be up here all night. We're going to jump right in because we got to be intentional about stuff. We got to be intentional about our time, about our meat, right? Our money, our energy, our attention, and our time. And so I won't hold your attention for too long if I'm not intentional with what I'm talking about, right? So you'll get sidetracked, ADHD will kick in, no puns intended, no offenses sent out by that. But for real, we get sidetracked and distracted. So we're going to get in and get out. And correction, Anthony said is ant underscore the underscore me. God, boy, that's a lie. You got all these E's on there. KNEEEE on TikTok. Yeah, you could find them. But anyway, yeah, they put some funny stuff on there. So, so last week um, we talked about relationships. And so we're moving on to the I for intentional. And I'm going to read the little blurb that I shared from the actual Be Risky, okay? And that is living in the past aids in depression while worrying about the future contributes to anxiety. Guess what? You cannot change anything that has already happened, and there's no need to be anxious about tomorrow. Why? Because you don't even know what it will bring, right? Um, the scripture that I have in here, it says that the book of Jeremiah tells us that God had already planned for our purpose and intention before we were even formed in our mother's womb. And that was in Jeremiah 1:5. I didn't put what version it is, so I'm sorry. And then I also have Jeremiah 29:11 written down, and it says that those plans are for good and not for evil, which will give us a future and a hope. So we need to enjoy this life that we are given, being careful how we live and making the most of every opportunity. And that also comes from Ephesians 5, verses 15 to 18. It tells us about that. So, how can I be more intentional with practicing self-care? And what does that really look like? And so before, we talked about setting intentions and things like that. And actually, intention setting proves there's results that show that it improves confidence, it improves belief in your abilities, it helps you to get a grip on negative thoughts, because y'all know we be having some negative thoughts and they ain't of the Lord, right? Because he doesn't want us to have negative thoughts. So, and they also help you break larger goals into smaller, more manageable tasks and parts so that they seem to be more accomplished, because their intentions are really specific, and then and they're more actionable than just saying, I'm going to lose weight. I want to lose 10 pounds, So intentions require you to have a commitment. So the commitment is like, the goal might be, I want to lose 20 pounds by June so I can get it right and tight, but the intention is, I'm going to walk 10 miles today. I don't think I'm going to do that, but that's the thing. I'm going to, I'm setting the intention to do X, Y, and Z to make sure that I can do those things. Like, hey, Cameron, Um, so it's also like, if it's eating, I will eat one salad each day, something like that. That's what the intention is all about. Okay. And so moving right along, in order to build better habits and these intentions to be a better you, if you want to improve yourself, because people get to the new year and they're like, oh, it's new year new me. It ain't about a new year new me, because baby, I'm 46. It ain't gonna be no new Juana, right? Because I'm 46, so I'm gonna be 47 this year. So I want to get that 23.0 version of me, that 2023 version. So that's what I want to do. I want to improve that version. And so I can be a better person. So I can be a better me. So I can be a better mom, a better grandma, a better wife, a better sister, a better daughter, a better friend, all of that. Right. So one of the best ways to do this is to build better habits. And you can develop better habits by being consistent and committed. So whether it's a daily thing, a weekly thing, or a monthly thing, consistency is your key to getting more out of life. If you are consistently intentional, that's my word, consistently intentional by making self-care a priority, then it becomes a habit and you prioritize your needs and your desires and you take care of yourself. And so then remember, you'll put your oxygen mask on because you're taking care of you, and then you can help everybody else around you and you will be better for it for them as well, right? this this can be like a lifelong habit to love yourself, right? But you got to love yourself enough to make it part of your calendar, to make it part of your to-do list, to make yourself a priority. So don't just make it like something that you do because it's March, or because you are trying to get that get your abs ready for like June or whatever, so you can go on the beach and wear a two-part, or you know for guys you just want to wear your trunks and not a top, you know what I mean? Don't just do it for that, but make this self-care a lifelong habit, to love yourself because you deserve it, because you need it, right? And besides, God didn't put us here to just suffer, so he wants us to feel good. He wants us to be good in a good place. So anyway, so that's why you need to do this. All right. And so, you know, another thing to think about is like, we often do so much for everybody else. We make adjustments for everybody else. And I know I'm overgeneralizing by saying everybody, but we do it for our kids, we do it for our spouses or our companion, whoever that is, we do it for our jobs. I sure do it for my grandbabies, I ain't gonna lie. I do. I might not have it, but I'm gonna make it work. We do it for our friendships and just whatever relationship that is, as we're moving in our ship, whatever that is, we make arrangements. We come out the pocket for stuff. Money fall out the sky for it. It seems like, so that we can make sure something happens for these other people. But sometimes that leaves us empty, right? That leaves us in a space of like, what about me? Because I've been there, y'all. I have been there to where like, recently I just bought my grandkids some tablets for it was a late Christmas present. So they got it in February because I ain't had the funds like that. But I want, I dropped $200 like it wasn't nothing. But then I'm trying to go get me some shoes and won't go get my shoes because I don't want to spend over $40 on some shoes. Make it make sense, right? But sometimes I'm talking to myself too. I have these same problems, but I recognize that when I am more committed and consistent with even taking care of myself, that I can be a better one. I can be this 2023 version of myself so that they can get this. Because before I would have just spent the money and not had it, you know what I mean? So that they could have it on time. But I said, hey, no, I got to think about my money and things that I'm focusing on and things that I'm trying to do for me. So I have to postpone that so that it's now February and they getting it. They don't know no difference. They won and getting ready to be three. So you know what I'm saying though? Sometimes we make things more about us than it really is. You know how we're gonna feel about something because I feel bad for giving this gift late. So I do all this other stuff. But you know what? I don't want to compromise myself anymore. So I'm stopping it. I'm stopping it. And I'm telling you that if you're doing that, don't compromise yourself. Don't compromise your money, your energy, your attention, or your time for someone else. Like, especially if it's going to put you in a situation, don't compromise it. Okay. So, anyway, we want to live and thrive instead of just survive, right? I don't want to live paycheck to paycheck. That's why I did what I did, you know? So you see what I mean? So I made that was self-care for me. That was me being intentional about my money. That was that part of the self-care, right? Even though that's a financial thing because we talked about self-care to be like another time where we talked about self-care in general as part of the Be Risky. We talked about the different the areas of it, like the physical self-care, the mental and emotional self-care, sexual, financial. So this kind of falls into that financial self-care. So be intentional about that. Another thing that, as we start to get into this, I'm going to give you some tips on things that you can do to help yourself to stay consistent and committed and to really make yourself a priority. So the first thing I want to tell you is to put it on a calendar, right? I where's my phone? I have my phone. I have 3 calendars that I have to use right now. I know that's a lot, but thank you, Google, because I can link them all up and then they all show everything where however I need it to be. But that's because I have my private practice calendar, then I have like my regular Google calendar, and then I have like another calendar. So anyhow, when you think about it, when you put something on a calendar, that means you have an appointment, right? That means this event is happening and it's important to you. So if you go to the doctor, you put your calendar appointment on your calendar saying that you have to go to the doctor. So why can't you do that for yourself and just put alone time, whatever that looks like. If, for Damon, he might need to put it on his calendar to go fishing, but, but you know what I mean? Just to put fishing on there. Coach, I know that coach, he does it when he puts, I don't know if he puts it on his calendar, but I know that he makes that time for himself just to write because he shuts down the Reset Academy Breakfast Club. We don't have it on Tuesday because he's like, hey, writing, writing and reflection. You know what I mean? So if you want to make something a priority, put it on your calendar, okay? It'll help you to keep track of the items to get it done. It also helps you not to forget because I know my thing be going on bzz, bzz, because it's my notification, right? So allow this tool. It's free on your phone. And if you're not a techie person, use a planner. They work too. But whatever you do, write it down because it'll keep you consistent and keep you committed to doing that. See, committed. So make that calendar your commitment to yourself. Okay. Another thing that you can do before we get into all of it is create a welcoming environment. Okay. So that means, you go into this space that you want to be your feel good space and you got all this junk around there. You're not going to be able to concentrate. You're not going to be able to relax because it's messy and mess creates anxiety, right? If you won't feel comfortable, you won't be able to relax. So, whatever you do, make that space welcoming for you. And it could be a whole room or it could just be a small space in a room. It doesn't matter, but make that your space. Create what makes you feel good in that space. So, like, well, I had to throw it away, but I have a candle that I normally have up here and I light it, but I have to replace it. So I have my candle in here so I can get those smells. You know what I mean? I have this stuff back here, like butterflies, warm. And that I have in my space, like I have a picture from my daughter that she made me for Mother's Day. I have something that my brother gave me. I have something that my son gave me. I have, there's a lot of things that people that I connect with that they gave me to make my space mine and unique to me and makes me feel good because it also makes me feel closer to those people. Okay. So make that your favorite room or your favorite space. Okay. It's your go to place, right? It's your place of comfort and your place of peace. If you create an environment for your self care that allows you to thrive and feel happy, you'll keep coming back to that same space. And, I kind of took over Damon's space. Yeah, I did. I made him a man cave when I wasn't working, but it turned into like the family room and now it's just a couple room. But he got all his stuff in there. So it's his space that he likes. He gets to be in charge of the TV. He gets to go in there when he wants to be alone, but when I want to be with him, I go in there too. So that's his space for his stuff and he feels comfortable and he can make his lures and do all his stuff in there. So that's his space. Kind of just like when you lived at home, if you had your own room, that was your space. It was your safe space, or it should have been. So just think about that. If you don't have a space, find you a space, make you a space. It don't have to be that serious. It don't have to be super big. Doesn't have, and you do whatever you need to do in that space. So I'm going to move on into actually writing down the intentions and how they can help accomplish those intentions and goals. Okay. So writing things down, kind of like putting it on the calendar, can be a powerful tool to help you achieve something. Our minds believe that we are excellent at remembering things, but truth be told, we ain't. We forget and things slip past us, right? Especially as we age. So writing down your intentions can become a good habit and it come in handy to you, right? And you can post them up around your bathroom, on the wall, on your computer. Um, I used to put them on my phone sometimes so that I could just go back and look at it right away. Okay. So just have them around so that you can remind yourself. And the first step that we're talking about in making you this better version of yourself is to ask tough questions. Okay. And then after reflecting on those questions and thinking and pondering and really taking it deeply, like for real, be for real with these questions that I'm about to ask you. Equip yourself to take action and make change if needed. Okay. Because none of this works if you don't do it. So change is uncomfortable. Coach was talking about that. Change can be very uncomfortable, but is necessary, right? So if you are not going to take the action, log off right now and don't even worry about it. But if you want to be consistent and committed, I want you to go ahead and set an intention that I'm going to make the changes that I need. Okay, say it with me. I am going to make the changes that I need. I am going to make the changes I need. So I want you to take this time to discover what's holding you back from living this enjoyable, positive life that you deserve. Okay. And so these I'm going to credit that I got these questions from Gratitude Glass Jars, and that's www.gratitudeglassjars.com. This is not a paid advertisement for them. They just had some good questions on here that are deep. So I'm going to run through them, and if you need them, hit me up. I'll send them to you. But what is one thing you can do to find more joy? How often will you make this happen? And I'm not going to go into each question, but just thinking about that, what can you do to find like joy? What one thing helps you to find more joy? And I know like for my bestie Michelle, she probably really enjoys making cakes. right? That's why she got a whole business doing it. So that's something that brings her joy because it also gives her, excitement and expectation that someone else is going to receive that and feel that love that she put into that. So for me, some of that is like doing crafts. I enjoy doing crafts. So how often will you make this happen? So, see, that's where the intention part comes in. So, you ask yourself the question, and then how often will you make this happen? So, I need to put that on my calendar and go in and say, have a craft time. You see what I mean? It don't have to be every day, it could be once a month, but at least I'm going to do it because that's one thing I can do to find more joy. Energy. What gives you energy? And again, when you think about these questions, how often can you do, what this change needs, if that's you, if that's what you need to do? So what gives you energy? What are your personal gifts? Are you implementing them into daily life? And y'all, we have, when I'm talking about personal gifts, I'm talking about them ones that's inside of you, those talents and skills and abilities that you have. So that's what I'm talking about, those personal gifts that God had equipped you with way back before, you was in your mama's womb. Because remember, I already talked about that he already had a plan for you. So he already gave you some gifts. So what are those gifts? And if you don't know what they are, see what you're passionate about. See what talents that you may have. What do other people tell you? Like, man, you do that pretty good. Think about those. And are you implementing them into daily life? What important needs do you have that are not being met? That's a real one, y'all, because, I had to check myself. I ain't eating right. So I'm not eating right. I don't eat like consistently throughout the day. I eat, I was eating around my clients. That ain't okay. They need to be seen around me. You know what I mean? My time. So if I'm not eating and I'm not fully mentally there with them, how can I serve them best? Right. So, what important needs do you have that are not being met? How can you receive them going forward? And sometimes that might be something that you need to talk to someone that lives with you, children or spouses or these connections, even at work, something that you might need at work. What are your favorite ways to nurture yourself mentally, physically, spiritually? Are you doing these things regularly? On to values. What values are important to you? Are you living in ways not aligned with these values? And remember, I said earlier, don't compromise your values for somebody else. Okay. Pride. What are you proud of achieving in your life to this date? To this date. And so remind yourself of your accomplishments because sometimes, we don't think about it until we go on a job interview. And that's sad. But you've done some great things in your life. So I want you to think about those things, some of the things that you've done. And maybe that's something that you could like restart, you know? As far as relationships, do you surround yourself with positive or negative people? Are they adding benefit to your life? And I know last week we did talk about relationships. And, sometimes we got to let those things go if they're negative. If those people are negative and they're sucking up and depleting your oxygen, they ain't worth it. And if they were really your friend, they would make sure you got some oxygen. Okay. They wouldn't take your oxygen. So sometimes you got to think about letting some relationships go. Okay. Desires. What are your most burning desires? And are you fulfilling them? Something that I wanted to do was become get my PhD, and I'm going to be able to do that. So this is going to take a lot for me to have to, set some different intentions right now, especially about my time and my time management, and make sure that I'm able to fulfill that desire that I had, and because I'm having this opportunity. So just think about the burning desire that you have. And if it's something that you thought that, that was when I was a little kid and, I'm never going to achieve that. Don't say that because you're never too old. One of our friends of the podcast, Tammy from Titan Publishing, she posted a post the other day about Cicely Tyson writing a book at like 90 something years old. You ain't never too old to do it. You know what I mean? If you get your energy up and your motivation, you can do it. You can do it. So stop being lazy. Go on and fulfill that dream that you had, okay? And lastly, stop. Stop, stop, stop. Stop. And then that's, what do you need to stop worrying about? What's something that has been pressing you, that's been holding you back? So think about that. What's something you need to stop worrying about? Something, I feel that for real for somebody. There's something that you've been worrying about that you need to um, stop focusing all of your attention on that, because it's keeping you away from what it is that you really are going, that's coming for you, that's expected for you. Oh Lord. But I feel that so strongly for somebody. So I hope whoever that is, I hope you hear it and I hope you receive it and stop worrying about it, because it ain't gonna, you don't have any control over what that looks like. So what steps will you take to let that thing go? It could be something from your past. Let that thing go because it's holding you from being this best 2023 version of yourself. So let that thing go. Okay. And then like we said, setting these intentions means asking yourself, what is it that I need today, this week, this month? And ask yourself all those questions, and if it's not all of them, some of them, but you'll find the ones that you need to do for yourself. Ask yourself those things. And sometimes you can just focus on your strengths, assess your strengths. What are your unique strengths? Remember, just like your talents, your abilities. Are you good at journaling? Are you good at poetry? Are you good at songwriting or dancing or playing an instrument? Pick that thing back up and start doing it again. Start doing it because it was a strength. Even if it wasn't a strength, it was just something that you enjoy doing. So do it. Okay. Don't let anything stop you. Don't let some voice that says, man, you can't sing. Sing. If you sing as loud as you want to in the shower, sing, because that's your self-care time. If you make an appointment with yourself to say at 8:30, I'm gonna sing in the shower when I take my shower, do it. It's okay. Another thing I want you to do, and I know I'm saying I want you to, but I just want you to think about these things and be, I'm inviting you to do them. I'm not commanding you or telling you to do them, but just inviting you to have a good practice of gratitude, because after you give your time to to sit in these spaces with all these difficult emotions, and because some of that stuff might be hard. It's like you might have feel like a failure, that you didn't accomplish those desires that you had, those dreams. So after you sit with that time and space and just allow yourself to feel those emotions, ask yourself, what am I grateful for? Just like I was saying earlier, I'm grateful. I'm grateful for this time change. I don't know how it's going to impact me yet, but I'm grateful for it. you know I'm gonna figure out what it is, but I'm gonna do that. So just ask yourself, what am I grateful for? And then begin to focus on those resources, whether it's a person that you might be grateful for. Like I said, I'm grateful for my neighbor Debbie, because she brought us some soup because it's cold. you know um it may be a place that you can go to or that you have gone to. It may be a thing that you're grateful for. So whatever that is, be grateful and remember that you still have access to it. It may, it may take time to get there, because you might have to drive to go see somebody or to go to a place. but take that time because it's for you and you deserve that. Okay. And then when all else fails, and we're going to be getting ready to close, when all else fails and you begin to feel overwhelmed, remember that you can always come back to your breath. Our body, it's a natural way for our body to respond is breathing, right? It's habitual. We don't even know that we're doing it. We just breathe automatically, right? So just breathe. You know, you could look up anything about deep breathing and just breathing exercises on your own. They'll tell you breathe in for a certain amount of time, hold it for a certain amount of time, and all of that. I start out with 4 because I like that fo from Wendy's when they had it back in the day, but that was my number for a moment. But one of my favorite numbers is 5, actually. So let's talk about that. Um, do it with me right now for 5 counts in. Breathe in and hold it for 5 counts out. And each time you can lengthen it. Whatever you need to do. So just breathe in for those 5 counts. Hold it. Let it out for 5 counts. Right? And as you do it, your body will naturally relax. It will. I promise you it will, because you do these things unintentionally. So when you do it intentionally, you bring focus to your breath. And so when you continue to breathe like this until the tension in your body begins to loosen, your thoughts will start to slow their natural rhythm, because we constantly have thoughts going around, right? Allow the thoughts to pass through your mind. Just allow it as you're breathing, as you take that moment for yourself. Allow those thoughts to just pass through. Don't judge them. Don't have any restraint. Just allow them to come and be with them for a moment. Allow the thoughts to run free. Allow you to step back and gain distance, that you can see them just as what they are, simple thoughts. That's all they are. It's just a simple thought. Okay. And then, think about this. Thoughts come and go. I didn't have about 15 already in the past, right? They come and go. But that's all that they're doing. They're just like a wave of water. They just pass on by, right? So don't allow yourself to get stuck and tangled up in some negative thought, especially, right? Especially a negative thought, because even the Bible tells us to think on those things above, not below. So the negativity is here. We're in it. We're in this world of sin and flesh and all that kind of stuff. So it's so easy to fall prey to it, to fall prey to negative thoughts. So when you start to have them, just stop, take some breaths, loosen up yourself, loosen up your, that tense body of yours, and then focus on that breath after you allow those thoughts to come. And as my good friend, Minister Cynthia's on, she always says, return to sender, because you don't have to hold them thoughts. Return it to sender. So just simply allow those thoughts, and don't judge them. Don't ridicule them. Don't stay in them. Just allow them to be what they are. Allow your emotions to do the same, to just have them. You don't have to act on them. Just allow, like, man, I'm feeling anxious. Why? So don't worry about that. Just allow it to happen. And you will find yourself released of tension and at peace. And then just bring your awareness right back to what's really important, your breath. Because above all, we should be thankful because we do have a breath, that we made it another day, that this day was given to us because it didn't have to be. Okay. So, and just know somebody didn't wake up. So I am thankful for this breath. Okay. So, y'all, I'm inviting you to take it one daily intention at a time. Create your own daily self care routine with intention. Okay. And just refocusing sometimes and reframing how you can make this difference is just just the first step. Okay. And it will make the difference in your daily wellness routine. So, just to recap, make sure you stay committed, well, consistent and committed. Put it on your calendar, write them down. Ask yourself those hard questions, assess your strengths, and also practice gratitude. All right, y'all. That was it. I know I went a little bit over. I want to give some shout outs to a couple people that came on. Um, cousin Nikki, hey Nikki, how you doing? And Minister Cynthia, thanks for joining. And Charina, I want to say hey to you, girl. Hopefully, I'll get to see you soon. Um, and I saw a long time old battle buddy, Mashana Clark, popped on. I don't see her name anymore, but I saw it. I saw her come on. So hey, Mashana. Um, and she's doing something too, y'all. I just saw. So I'm loving what you're doing too, Mashana. So I will probably invite you onto my podcast if you want to, because I would love to have you on and talk about what you're doing. Because it's really powerful, it sounds like. So um also, hey August, how are you doing? I know y'all might still be a little cold, but um but anyway, August, yeah, catch the replay, girl. It's all good. But yeah, if y'all want some of those questions that I asked, or that I presented, you could ask me for them. Just message me here on the Facebook page, and I will get them to you, because those are some really good things to think about to help you to get your mind going. And journaling always helps, because you can see the growth that you've had. And so I'm not going to keep y'all any longer, so I could go get this Tuscan soup, thanks to my friend Debbie. And I love you guys. I thank you so much for joining in. And if you have any ideas or any things you would like to talk about, send them to me, because I would, like I said, I can get somebody if I don't know. And this is what this is all about, is about awareness. Okay. And just bringing us to be better people for ourselves and each other, right? Because we're here to love, right? To love one another. So that's what this whole journey is about. So anyway, as we always say, I am here, it is now, and y'all, I'm alive. Oh, and before I go, I have on one of my new favorite shirts. It says grown from strong roots. And so I just wanted to hurry up and tell y'all about this shirt, because I did get it during Black History Month at Target. And again, this is not a commercial, but it empowers me, because I know that it was about Black history, the grown from strong roots, and I'm gonna still credit them for that, because I did come from some strong roots, right? But y'all, when I think about the goodness of God, that's what it comes to me, is I'm grown from strong roots. He weaved me up in my mama's womb, right? A long time ago. And he rooted and grounded that thing. And so for me to be able to stay rooted and grounded in his word, that just gives me chills and makes me feel good. So I just wanted to share that with y'all, because sometimes it is about that. Like, you wear something and it makes you feel better, right? So this just empowers me to know that I am so connected. It reminds me of that I'm so connected with God. So I just want to give y'all some of that peace, love, and blessings. And I'll see y'all next week as we talk about the S. So I'll holler at y'all. Good night.